Hey everyone, Madcarver here with Schaaf Tools. Today we're going to learn the basics of using a mallet with your wood carving projects. All right, let's get to it. Here is a wood carver's mallet. A wood carver's mallet is basically a hammering tool made of wood with a hammering surface here made of materials softer than steel. You need it to be softer than steel for two reasons. You don't want it to rebound off of your chisel when you hit it, and you also don't want to damage the handle of the chisel when you're hitting it. So one of the more frequent questions that I get is, why is a mallet shaped like this instead of a hammer? So to answer that question, I have a hammer here, and pretty much from the beginning of when any of us can remember, we were told that you can hit the hammer here or you can hit it here. It's really not meant to be hit in any other direction or any other placement. And when you do hit, you should hit in the direct center of those areas. Whereas a mallet, its shape is more versatile. It allows us to turn it and use it in a 360-degree area of its striking surface. The way I hold a wood carver's mallet is right here in the center, where it's most comfortable, where it's just more normal. So if you hold it up here, you'll have a little less force put into the chisel and a little more control. If you hold it down here at the bottom, you'll have less control and a lot more force. But moderate grip right in the middle, it's really quite comfortable, and it's just right for me. So a wood carver uses a mallet when more force is needed than what strength alone can do or even be attempted. Okay, let's look at the mallet in use. So I have some holes in my bench, and I put some wood down in there so that I have a stopping point for an old carve that I had to stop working on at the customer's request. So now I just need to bring this whole block down to around this level, and then I can at least use that wood for a different carving. So what I need to do now is to take off that surface area. So what I'm going to use is a number 5 20mm gouge. It's got a great sweep here for me to use. So I'm just going to put this in the block approximately here, and I'm just going to hit the mallet at the back of the chisel. And it just cuts away. It's quite simple because in this particular case, there isn't a lot of area, as you can see. So these should just chip away quite simply. So again, you put it on your bench, you hold it in place, it's nice and solid, and then you can apply your chisel and your mallet. Now, when you're working with areas where there's more material, like here, you'll want to take off a lot less. A lot less at a time. And it'll just slowly, eventually come off. When you're working with the mallet and the chisel, you just hold your chisel as is normal, but it's in your non-dominant hand. You take it with a firm grip, not too hard, not too soft. You just got it. The mallet, you hold it in your dominant hand, and you just aim for the back of the chisel. So when you're trying to cut against the grain, so the grain is going horizontally on this block of wood, and to remove this area of the carving by hand can be somewhat onerous. So by cutting in there and then using your chisel and mallet to take off this side area that's against the grain can take a lot of the strain off of your hands. So you can see how easy that was. So a lot of material was removed fairly quickly with no extra stress on my hands from having to do it with my hands alone. Let's look at the positions from which you can use a mallet, as they can widely vary as well. So let's pull up our tool and our scrap here. So I have a 520 millimeter here. It's a good tool to hold on to while you're getting rid of material. So we already know that you can hit it from below and it removes just fine. We also know that you can hit it from above. In this case, just took it right off. You can also hit it from the side. And here on the left. And when you're hitting your tool at whatever position you have your arm in, you can hit it with your entire arm. I have yet to do that, but a lot of us often just use our forearm, the entire forearm here, that allows us to just hold the tool and move from the elbow. A lot of us just do that. And in some cases, and often many cases, we just use our wrist alone. So you really just need to take off a certain amount, just tap it, easy. And in a lot of cases, we also just use our fingers. So we're trying to be precise here. May only need to take off a little bit. And your fingers, plenty to get that done. When you're changing positions using the mallet from the right or the top, the bottom, the left, when you're changing all these positions, it doesn't matter which way the mallet is facing because all edges are the same. Mallets are not only used to take off giant swaths of material, they're also used for detail work as well. But as you get used to your mallet and you refine your technique, you'll be able to move the tool along a given area with your non-dominant hand and the use of the mallet. So I'm just going to follow this line here with a V-parting tool. And I'm using it in the same manner I would all the time for relief carving, which is your dominant hand has the thrust and power, and your non-dominant hand has the guidance and the steering. So you just use it as such. There'll be a point in time where you don't even look at the chisel on the back area or the hammering surface of the mallet itself. You're just working along and you're staring at the tip of your chisel. So there's a very small 6 millimeter tool there. We'll look at an even smaller one. This is a 3 millimeter number 11. We'll just kind of guide it through the same path. Pretty easy. So it's really just a matter of you getting used to your mallet and you getting adjusted to how it works for you. Okay, well, that's all there really is to it. And Schaaf carries a really nice, light, easy to hold and use mallet that I believe you'll also enjoy using.